Hey guys, it's Craig with Mutt's Gear Shack, coming to you from the frozen Arctic wasteland of Alaska. I got one more of these dime fakes that I had bought. You just probably seen the video where I did the Rebel flag dime. This is the Southern Cross replica dime. Fake dime, whatever you want to call it. The Chinaburn, it's a Washburn fake. So we'll take this thing over to the workbench and we'll get an up-close look at it. See the cross inlays. Some of the replicas, they don't get the crosses right. They have them in the same direction. So these are opposite each other, so that's correct. Right off the bat, we can see knob placement is wrong. They should be starting here and then running down about here. And the bottom horns are a little shorter too. This is the same shape as the Confederate flag one, about 2 inches too short. It's a little off on that respect. The same thing with the headstock, it's off. It's more of a Dean-shaped headstock, being the equal points, whereas the Washburn's, the base side is offset. It's a little bit bigger, which Washburn did to get over the Dean copyright on that headstock. The top appears to be, I mean, it's just going to be a veneer, although I don't know if you can see as I move it. I mean, there's some movement in the top. It's got a nice veneer on it, but I would say it's probably paper thin more than likely. We'll pull the pickups out and we'll take a look, see if we can see in there. It's definitely not a photo flame. A photo flame finish won't move. Like I said, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it in person. And I know, Fender did those old photo flame finish guitars back in the 90s, and they didn't have any movement at all in them. So this is the same issue as the other fake dime that I have had. The frets are super scratchy. They didn't finish them out good. They did ball the fret ends over, which to me, it's like it takes a lot of time to do that. I don't know why they just didn't finish the frets, but there's no sharp edges as you run your hand up and down the neck. They're, like I said, they're balled over nice. They just need to be finished. So I'm going to do that like I did on the other one. We'll oil up the fretboard, restring this thing, and one thing I've noticed on it right off the bat, I plugged it in, and I'm not getting good output off of the bridge pickup. So it's almost like it's a split coil sound. So I don't know who knows what they've done in here. These things are hit and miss. On the other one, it had grounding issues, which this has as well. But at least the pickup sounded somewhat decent, but they were microphonic. They're not wax potted. So like I said, we're going to get in this thing. I haven't opened this one up yet, so I don't know. I would assume it has the same type of stuff inside of it as well. Although the back plate is cut out, so you can adjust the trim springs without taking the back plate off. Whereas the other one I have wasn't set up that way. And you can see in the cutaway, it's definitely a multi-piece body. You can kind of see it more right there. So they didn't do a great job with that. I mean, what can you expect though for this price point? It's less than, it was around $300 also shipped to my door here. Most time they have on these things on Temu, there's free shipping to the lower 48. But since I'm in Alaska, I have to pay to have these shipped to Tacoma. And then I have a shipping company pick them up and they ship it here to Alaska, which cost me another $30-some, which it's not bad. So I'll definitely not complain about that. People have asked on my other video, they can't find these. Well, from what I understand with Temu is they have a whole bunch of different guitars in a warehouse in the U.S. or a couple warehouses. So they're only available to buyers in the United States. So if you go on Temu and you look and you don't see any guitars, you're evidently out of their specific area. So unless you can find a way to have them shipped to a terminal in the U.S. and shipped to you, that's, you're out of luck on that, I guess. There was no more of the Rebel Flag dimes. I think they're sold out. They do get new ones in all the time. They had a Dime Slime copy on there. They've got more of the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross they have on there right now, they have a little bit more accurate knob placement on those. So they get different stuff. They also have the Brasilia Burst looking one, the Far Beyond Driven guitar dime used. They have a replica of that on there right now. The one I'm looking for, the Concrete Sledge. I'll stick a picture right here for all you dime guys. You know what that was. That, I love that guitar. So if that one comes up, I probably will get that one because that finish was just freaking awesome. So all right, let's get this thing on the bench. We'll take a look at it. We'll get it fixed up here and we'll get some playing demos on it. It looks like it has the same exact hardware, which I'm going to bet is just as crap as the hardware on the other one. The neck is very similar. It's actually a little thinner. It's a wide neck. I'm going to get a measurement on this. I'm going to get my calipers out. But it feels a little bit thinner than the Rebel that I've got. So I don't know. We'll see. Block our trim here. These nuts they put on this feel like they want to strip out when you try to tighten them down. They're just very cheap hardware. And I actually have that one on crooked. Like I said, you can't expect a whole lot for these price points on these guitars. They kind of are what they are. They all need work. You know, if you just want to get it as a wall hanger, they do look cool hanging on the wall. But they definitely need a lot of work to get them where they need to be. Southern Cross was also one of my favorite dime guitars. I remember when Boogie Street Guitars, some of you guys might remember them, they did a limited run. I think they did 100 of these. And back in the day, I think they were between $1,200 and $1,500. And it was right after Dime was killed. And I remember wanted one really bad, but just could not afford that price at that time. Now, even the import Crosses, bringing $10,000. If you can find one. And the USA dimes, $20,000 plus. So they're not very affordable. And a lot of people will crap all over everybody that buys these counterfeits. And everybody's got a mountain they want to preach on, but not everybody can afford to spend that kind of money to have a guitar like their Guitar Hero has. And these are the first counterfeits that I've bought. I had never bought any before. I just wanted to see what these things were really like. I've heard good and bad about them, so I wanted to see for myself. Up close shot of the headstock here. I'm pretty certain that this is not actually binding. This, to me, it looks like they painted this on. Especially right up here, you can kind of see the paint, and tape lines aren't real clean. So I'm pretty sure that's just been painted on. Like I said, again, I wish they would just leave these headstocks blank. The inlays actually look pretty dang good. Not a lot of filler around them. And it looks like there is actual black binding on the fretboard. You see the fret ends balled over nice. Again, who knows what kind of wood this is. Mimicking, looks like probably rosewood or something. But it could be anything. I don't know what it is actually. Like I said, the inlays do look pretty nice. Some kind of abalone copy, it looks like. Again, you can see the binding here. That's pretty poor. Sloppy work. They didn't even finish painting it. Like I said, you can't expect a lot for these price points. I am surprised at how nice the veneer is on here. And the cross inlay. It does appear to be an inlay. You can kind of see some depth to that. So to me, the cross inlay looks pretty good. The jack, it's not even completely round. Did a terrible job on that. I mean, those are things that are all easily replaceable. Like I said, the top's nice looking though. Cheap bridge. See more of the paint on binding. I mean, that's got to be paint. Throw a bit of tape over the bridge so we don't lose our string blocks. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the other guitar, we're going to use these micro mesh polishing pads, and I'm going to polish up all the frets, get all the sanding marks out of them. This one's actually not quite as bad as the other one, so that's good. And then we'll use some of the Dunlop cleaner and prep on the fretboard, and then follow that up with the lemon oil. And they got the fake, custom shop 15 of 100 USA, which we know that is not true, and it does not have the Buzz Fightin' tuning system on it. The tuners are stamped Grover. I can guarantee they're not real Grovers. Has the diamond volute like the USA Washburn D3s had. You can see the scarf joint. You can definitely see the different pieces of wood and imperfection there. And they have, it looks like a thin veneer on the back to kind of hide the fact that it's a multiple piece body. But you can obviously tell that it's multiple pieces. Alright, so the back of the trim cavity is a little bit neater than the other one, but still you can see it's uneven. And that cavity cover for the switch is so tight I can't even get it out of there. I don't want to break it, so just I can't get it out. Full-size pots. Just not sure what the grounding issue is with these, because I mean they do have it grounded. Like I said, I doubt that's even shielding paint in there. It's probably just black paint that they've brushed in. Alright, so we can see in here, like probably that's a neck tenon there, which the other one didn't have, so that's a little different. And this pickup here, it says made in Korea. You notice on the other one I had, it said made in Japan. Could be, I mean, who knows. We'll see if we can see our... Yeah, you can see the line. It's a very thin veneer. It's not as thin as I thought. And the wood appears to be a mahogany or a mahogany-like wood. Who knows what they put in these. It does look like it, so I don't really know, though. Take the bridge pickup out. That one also says made in Korea, so that's interesting. Who knows what kind of marks, just something for their manufacturing, I'm sure. Again, you can see the thin veneer that they use. You can see a little bit of chipping right there. So that's definitely, it's definitely a wood. It's definitely wood. There you can see where they chipped it. So definitely a thin veneer. Another shot of those inlays. All right, so we're getting a reading of 13.45 on the bridge pickup, which is weird because I'm definitely not getting full output from it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So let's check our neck. And we're only getting a 7.57, so something definitely, see it when I'm, okay, so there's something goofy with the pots. You can see a change when so something's up. Then right in the middle, we're getting 4.85, which you'd expect it to be, lower in the middle, but something screwy with these readings. It's just, that's definitely not right. And we got a nut width of 1.663. First fret neck depth of 0.844 inches. And then 0.939 at the 12th fret. So it actually gets a little bit thicker. So something interesting here, like I said on the last video, the fretboard radius on that Rebel dime is like a 15 degree. This is a 10 degree radius. So that's weird. So they're kind of all over the map. You have to excuse my house. The floor is not finished, and finishing up trim and different things. We built our own house here in Alaska, and still working on it. It's not completely finished yet. If you're interested in any kind of Alaska content, check the description for my main YouTube page called Our Alaska. It's all our adventures here in Alaska and live off grid. And so if you have any interest in that, you can check that channel out. All right, I worked all the way through my micro mesh sanding pads, and they've polished up pretty nice. I'm going to put a little bit of polish on. I don't have any buffing wheels for my Dremel, but that final micro mesh polishing pad, I mean, put a pretty good shine on them. So I'm just going to use this little bit of polishing compound just to give them a little bit of a buff up. All right, we got the frets all sanded, polished up. You can see they got a nice shine on them. All the fret file marks are gone. And hopefully it'll be nice and smooth now. Won't have all that scratchiness. Dry decent before we put our lemon oil on. I'm gonna let the lemon oil soak in for a little while here. We'll wipe it back off. Get rid of the excess anyway. All right, so I've got the action pretty low, about 1 millimeter. And pretty close to the same on the low E without really too much buzz. All right, it's been a couple days since I did the setup and everything on this. I kind of let the guitar settle back in. Right off the bat, when I tried to lock the strings down, it stripped out the screw right off the bat. So it's just cheap, soft metal they put on there. The tuners are crap too. They, I don't know what the ratio is on these things, but you got to crank on them to get anywhere with them. So terrible. Bridge, same thing, just cheap hardware, which I expected. Issue I've ran into is, like I mentioned earlier, something is wrong with the bridge pickup. I don't know what exactly. It's almost acting like it's out of phase sounding, like one coil working. Something is definitely wrong. You've seen the readings I was getting. It was showing a high reading, which makes no sense. I mean, you're going to hear it. It's going to make doing any kind of high gain demo's tough, but we'll show you what it sounds like with the high gain. It's pretty terrible on the bridge pickup. But I got it playing pretty good. The frets turned out really nice. It plays really good now. You showed the measurements I took off the neck. It's odd. It's actually a little fatter at the 12th fret than it is up here, so it's got a funky profile. It's fairly comfortable up here. It just gets a little fatter in this area, and it's kind of like a C profile, I would say. It's not one of my more favorite necks, but it's not awful either. You know, everybody says, you know, that the bodies they're wonky on these things. They're not quite right. It still looks cool enough. It's just a little, it's like the waist is a little fatter. The horns are a little bit shorter, but it still looks decent enough. It's a nice wall hanger, and this one actually plays fairly decent compared to the Rebel. The Rebel, I don't know. It's okay, but this to me plays a little bit nicer. Like I said, I just like the look of the Cross guitar that Dime had. So we'll get into some cleans here, and I'll go through the pickup combinations, and then we'll try some higher gain. That's almost pointless, but you'll be able to see anyway. That was neck pickup, neck and bridge combined. You're going to hear how drastic drop in volume and just very nasally. Something is seriously wrong with the bridge pickup. I don't really know what. If you got any ideas, drop a comment. Let me know what you think's going on with it. I do want to drop a better pickup in this thing. I might go with put a Bill Lawrence or something in, and then we'll see. We'll do another maybe we'll do a shootout between the three. We'll do the Rebel, the Cross, and my real Washburn Dime 333 slime. bridge. Bridge. You can hear it's something up. It's got grounding issues, and the pickups are definitely not potted. We'll go even higher gain, neck pickup. Neck and bridge. We'll go to the bridge pickup. So brutal. So as you heard, it's just something going on with the bridge pickup for sure. I actually don't mind the sound of the neck pickup. It's not too bad. Bridge pickup is a disaster. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm going to try replacing that and see what's going on, because evidently it's just a bad pickup. Who knows? You know, with the stuff they put in these things, it's cheap crap. The guitar does look cool. You know, like I said, it's not perfect, and if you're expecting perfect for $300 shipped to your door, you're gonna be very disappointed, because it is what it is. It's it's a nice wall hanger. It looks kind of cool. You know, out of the box they play like absolute crap. The frets needed work. As you can hear, the pickup doesn't work. The action was a mile high. So you're not just gonna play this thing straight out of the box unless you get win the lottery and you got super lucky with the one you got. All the ones I've gotten so far, all the Gibson guitars are Chinese, counterfeits. I bought 5 of them total just to kind of check all the, see how consistent they were, and all of them were terrible out of the box. Like I'd said before, that they would not put anything on the headstocks at all. To me, it'd be better off if you just do it blank and let us put our own decals on there. I wouldn't have such an issue with them, making these things. But for all of us that would like to have something like our Guitar Hero, and we can't afford $10,000 to $20,000, this kind of gets you the look. It's not going to be the quality of a real import Washburn, or especially not the custom shop Washburn. But, they are what they are. And, for fans like me that don't have a ton of money, it's got a decent look to it. And with some work, it could be a solid player. And I just hit 200 subscribers on this channel, and I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you that's watched, commented, and subscribed, and gave me a thumbs up. All those things help the YouTube algorithm immensely. Just that little thumbs up, a comment, helps out. And if you like the content, subscribe, hit that little notification bell all, so you get a notification when I drop new videos, which usually going to be Fridays or Saturdays. But again, if you like the content, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys.